Hello everyone, welcome back to the next part of the structure organization in the animal tissues chapter. So here we are going to continue with the neural tissues today. In the previous video we have completed about the muscular tissue, epithelial tissue and the connective tissue. Today we are going to study and complete about the neural tissues. Okay, so here in the neural tissues we should know about the neurons. Okay, so if we knows about the neuron structure, then we can simply understand about the neurons and their functions, right? So let us start with the neuron structure. So here, that is the structure of the neuron. We knows very well about the structure of the neuron. It is having some star shape structure like this, and over it is having some dendrites, like some fiber like structure, which is having the connection or the branching pattern is there, which will help in the connection with the previous or the next neurons. Okay, and the complete structure is going to continue in the form of a tube in the downside, and this structure is known as, this is actually known as the axon part. Okay, so this is the axon part, and over the axon there are some Schwann cells arrangement which will help in the, this is actually the Schwann cells which will help in the formation of a sheet like structure that is known as a myelin sheet. And what is myelin sheet? I'll tell you. Schwann cells are actually arranged in a pattern, and these Schwann cells will be actually giving the sheet like structure. That structure is known as the myelin sheath. Okay, if the myelin sheath is present over the neuron, axon of the neuron, so which is known as the myelinated neuron. If it is not present, then it would be the non-myelinated neuron. So this is what, these are the Schwann cells. Okay, these are the Schwann cells, and this complete arrangement of the Schwann cells in a pattern of a sheet is known as the myelin sheath. Okay, so this myelin sheath is actually just like a wrap over a pan. Just we are having the refill of the pan, and over it a plastic covering is there in which this refill is packed. So that is just like the axon. This is the axon, and this myelin sheath, because of the Schwann cells arranged, that is known as the, this is the myelin sheath which is formed because of the Schwann cells arrangement. Okay, and here it is having some gapping pattern. That gap between the myelin sheath is known as the node of the Ranvier. Okay, this node of Ranvier is actually helping in the speed of the action potential. Okay, action potential is what? Action potential will be the transmission of the signal from the axons, from the like cell bodies, till it will reach to the nerve end or the axon terminal part. So that is because of the action potential. So if the stimulus will come, so the sodium potassium will be start pumping here, and then the action potential will go on, and then it will create the stimulus to reach this will create the signal or any vesicle from the cell body via the axon, and it will reach to the axon terminal, right? So that is what the function, and the end of the axon is known as the axon terminal, and these knob like structure is what, these are actually just like a vesicle, but it is the axon terminal and is also known as the synaptic node. In detail we will study into the nervous system chapter, but at least basic structure we should know. And these fiber like structure which is coming out for the net in the form of a network, and it will help in the attachment of the one neuron to the another neuron, is known as the dendrites. In the cytoplasm there is some granule like structure which is known as the Nissl granules, and this is the cell body in which this all are present. In the center we are having the nucleus, right? So I hope this structure would be clear. Now let's see the structure of the neuron is actually having the two pattern, like cell type and the function. So neuroglial cells is what, some neurons are actually converted in the form of for the signal transformation, and some neurons are actually converting themselves into the repairing or supporting for these neurons. So these neurons are actually for the transport of the signal. Okay, this is for the transport of signal, but if this is working very hard for the transporting, so for them obviously there should be some relaxation, there would be some damage, might be any damage can become in this neuron. So for that some neuroglial cells are there. Okay, so the glial cells are actually for the support and the protection of the neuron. So here we are having the neuroglial cells which is giving the support and protection to the neurons. If the neuroglial cells present into the CNS, known as the, these are actually the type of the neuroglial cells which is present into the central nervous system, and here are the peripheral nervous system neuroglial cells which will give the support and the protection to the neurons in the peripheral nervous system. So here it is having the four type, like the astrocyte, epidendral cells, oligodendrocyte, as well as the microglia. These four are actually present into the central nervous system, and only the two type of the neuroglial cells are present into the peripheral nervous system, that is the satellite cells and the Schwann cells. The main thing is their function. What is their function actually? So the neuroglial cells are, which is the astrocyte. Astrocyte will help into the blood brain barrier. It will help in the maintenance of the blood brain barrier. It will provide the metabolic support. In the epidendral cells, from the name you can understand, epidendral means epithelial cells, like that. It will help in the lining on the spinal cord as well as the ventricles of the brain, and also help in the synthesization of the cerebrospinal fluid. Oligodendrocyte will be helping in the myelination of the axon part, which we have seen just now because of this myelin sheath. Because of the oligodendrocytes, only the Schwann cells arrangement will form the myelin sheath. And the microglia cells, from the name again you can understand, it would be a kind of the WBC, will be helping in the phagocytosis process of the pathogen. Okay, so that is what about the central nervous system. These four type of the neuroglial cells will be present into the central nervous system, will help in the repair, support and protection of the neurons. And in the peripheral nervous system, we are having the two type, that is the satellite and the Schwann cells. Let us see their function. Here the satellite cell will be helping in the surrounding the neuron cells, that will regulate the neurotransmitter. It will be actually working as a regulation on the neurotransmitter level, while the Schwann cells you have seen already that it will do the myelination. Okay, at the time of the regeneration of the neuron after the injury, this Schwann cells only will do the myelination. Okay, I hope these all four would be clear to you. Now let's see with the help of the NCERT that what is our NCERT saying, what about the neural tissues. In this one we have seen that neural tissues are actually exerted the greatest control over the body's responsiveness, right, to changing the changing condition. Neurons are the unit of the system that is excitable. Excitable cells means action potential is actually going on. So because of the action potential, the action potential will actually started because of the excitability, and the excitability because of the stimulus, right. So the stimulus will come and it will give the excitation to the cells. Okay, so the stimulus is there which will give the excitement to the neuron cells. Okay, the neuroglia cells, which constitute the rest of the neural system to protect and the support. I told you already that it will neuroglia cells which will give the protection and the support to the neural cells, which is the function of the neural cells is for the stimulus responsiveness. Okay, so that is what. And the neuroglia make up more than 1/2 of the volume of the neural tissue. This is very important line that you should mark here, that the neuroglia cells are actually more than the neuron cells. Why? Because the neuron cell function is to give the transmission of the signal, but the neuroglia cells is giving the protection to them. So they are more than one half volume of the neural tissue. That is important. And when a neuron is suitably stimulated, means when the signal will come, an electrical impulse means action potential is generated, which is swiftly travel along with its plasma membrane, and arrival of the disturbance at the neuron changes and neuron ending or the output zone, that will trigger the event that may cause the stimulation, maybe stimulation or maybe the inhibition. For example, we are having the neuron axon and the neuron axon terminal, or the signal will come with the help of the dendrite. So the signal will come here from the via the axon, it will reach to the neuron and axon terminal. So it may be the excited, it may be cause the excitation, okay, or maybe the inhibitory. So the inhibitory will inhibit the process, whatever is going on, that process will inhibit. But excitability means if the process was inhibited, now the process will start because of this signal which is coming from the cell body. Via the dendrite it will come to the cell body, and via the axon it will reach to the axon terminal, right. So that may be the stimulative, that may be the inhibition. It is all we will study with the help of the action potential topic. Okay, action potential topic we will study into the nervous system chapter. Okay, so that is important that we will see in detail into the nervous system chapter, and I hope this all will be clear to you. Now the next topic would be the frog, and we will continue in the next part. Okay, so let us continue with the frog in the next part of the video, and I hope it will help you. Do share with the friends and the colleagues. Thank you.